All right, Barrett, here's your game. We'll let you take this away.
Okay, so with quarterbacks, now, people like to throw out, teams for certain free agents, every year. And some people get made fun of, like me. Oh, no. Hold on.
That's because everybody goes to Miami for you.
Because everyone goes to Miami, but Miami did get a lot of free agents last year. Could happen again. Remember, salary cap's bullshit. Onward with the first quarterback. Is it a pipe dream, or could it actually happen? Derek Carr to the Panthers. What do you guys think? Currently, Sam Darnold is the starter.
I think it's a pipe dream. Only because Frank Wright just got the head coaching job. And I think him and Derek Carr would fit together perfectly well. But I think Frank Wright wants a fresh start with a rookie quarterback. He has the 9th pick in the draft. I think Carolina's going to do everything they can to move up, if not go all in on the Lamar Jackson sweepstakes if he becomes more available than the Ravens are offering.
Yeah, this is a big old pipe dream. I think the Panthers roster is completely ready for this yet. Derek Carr obviously visited with the Saints for a long time. If it's not the Saints, it'll be one of those other teams that really need a quarterback. I just don't see the Panthers.
He really needs a quarterback.
Yeah, the Panthers probably take a rookie though. I don't know. I don't see Derek Carr willingly going to Carolina and be like, "Yeah, I'm going to lead the fucking Panthers around." Come on, man.
They finished pretty strong.
Yeah, they fired the head coach. Yeah, great idea.
Because the head coach was a stooge. Matt Rule was an idiot.
Frank Wright's a fucking stooge. No, I'm talking about the interterm. Frank Wright's a stooge. That dude's a
Frank Wright was
clown.
one of the hottest commodities.
Frank Wright was the.
That's why he was like literally the first guy hired.
Yeah, he was.
It's Carolina.
Yeah,
they hired fucking Matt Rule.
Well, Matt Rule turned 2 programs around, so they thought he'd have a chance. It's still turning a whole program around, and they needed a turnaround. He thought maybe
who was the last guy to jump from college to NFL and be like super successful?
I don't know.
Cliff Kingsbury? No,
you have to take chances on it. Like, who else was available that Carolina could have went out and drafted?
Or Eric Bieniemy.
He didn't want there, so that was a non-option.
Well, I think Frank Wright was the product of bad ownership because Jim Irsay's a clown.
Listen, Jim Irsay is a fucking idiot. Okay,
so I think Frank will be okay in this weak ass division. Sorry, Vance. NFC South.
Weak. I'm not doubting it. If we roll with Andy Dalton, it's the weakest division in football. Now, listen, Frank Wright, he got fucked royally because when he got hired on, it was to coach Andrew Luck. Well, Andrew Luck up and retired. So what did he get stuck with? Jacoby Brissett.
Who was on a tear, like an MVP caliber season before he got injured.
And then they had to go with Phillip Rivers. That was honestly not a bad experiment. If you really look back at it, Phillip Rivers did what he was supposed to. He took the Colts to the playoffs.
True.
It didn't pan out very well. Then he went with Carson Wentz. That was not Frank Wright's decision. That was Jim Irsay's.
Right.
They paid the money. They traded the draft picks. I thought it was a good fit. I honestly did. I thought Carson Wentz, he had a bad one. It wasn't even a bad year. It wasn't a great year. It wasn't a bad year either. I think another year in that system, Carson Wentz comes out slinging in that system. Now, obviously, Jim Irsay was like, "Oh, I'm too impatient. Can't deal with this. Boom, let's bring in $40 million Matt Ryan, and let's play with that." I mean, we saw that. They have They have the number 2 pick in the draft this year?
Who?
I think so.
They have, the top 5 pick, the Colts.
Oh, yeah.
They're high up there.
Top 5.
Yeah. So none of what happened in Indianapolis is Frank Wright's fault. That dude got royally fucked. Yeah. And I feel for him. All right, Barry, you ready for your next quarterback?
Send it. Okay. Is it a pipe dream or a reality that Geno Smith just stays there?
I think it's a It's a reality. It is. It's not a good reality, and by any means, because Geno Smith's not the quarterback taking you to the promised land. He's not.
What?
And all I'm
Okay,
saying
he went
is
to the playoffs with Geno.
Seattle's roster is damn near ready to start competing again for like deep playoff runs.
It
They're
wasn't
right
Geno's
there.
fault. Well, he
It was
kind of stunk.
100% Geno's fault. Look at the last 5 games Geno started. They went like 1-4. 100% Geno's fault. Geno is going to stay. I don't think he should. Well, I think he should because I think Seattle can get a. I mean, Seattle has like a top 10 pick, don't they?
I believe so. They have the Broncos pick.
Re-sign him to a 2-year deal. Let him
1 year
mentor a rookie. Yeah, a 1-year deal. I'm fine with that as well. Let him mentor a rookie. Go draft a rookie quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is more of a reality than a pipe dream, but I could also see Geno Smith going to the Bucks. I mean, like a Seattle guy, long-time assistant, just got hired as the Bucks OC. I mean, and there you go. You know, there's everybody saying, "Oh, OC doesn't make a quarterback," but I mean, he's been in Seattle, learned the system, and now he was a Pro Bowl quarterback. Like, he may go down to the Buccaneers. Obviously, they need this guy. I don't think Kyle Trask is going to be the dude for them. And maybe the Seahawks have to move off and go to somebody else. And obviously, if you're Geno Smith, you're going to say, hey, I don't think I can get to the long-term contract here because, as Vance said, I mean, the Seahawks look pretty damn good with their young ones in there. And they're a couple years away, maybe a free agent signing here or there from being a rookie quarterback for being a really solid team. So they go get the project, the Anthony Richardson or the Hendon Hooker, and turn them around, or maybe even the Will Levis. I don't know how high they are. Turn those guys around, and you could be turning into a playoff team once again. Right, boom, right there.
Okay. I personally, I think it's a reality that he stays. Yeah, I think he stays.
Seattle has the 5th pick because of Denver.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
It's like at pick 5, Will Levis is going to be there. I doubt CJ makes it that far, but
I think they'll still pick a quarterback, but that doesn't mean Geno.
If you take a quarterback at 5, my opinion, if you take a quarterback in the top 10, they need to be starting day 1.
But man, Pete Carroll's so old. Does he want to go through it?
Pat Mahomes was the number 10 pick, and he sat for a year.
And look what it. I think if you throw Pat Mahomes in year 1, the dude's probably a 3-time MVP, maybe even 4 Super Bowls already under his belt.
Or he stinks because he lost confidence because he stunk.
He did not stink. When he came in that Week 17 game against the Broncos, the dude was making no-look passes his rookie year.
I'm just saying.
It could have went either way. You're right. It could have went either way, but I don't think it would have. I think any top 10 pick in the NFL draft needs to be a starter.
If you're the Seahawks, I think you got to package a little bit here and move up to get Stroud or Young. I think you're that one. I think you're a quarterback away and maybe even later pick from being a hardcore playoff contender. I mean, the Rams are going downhill. The Cardinals are going downhill. The 49ers not downhill, but they got questions at quarterback. I'm not saying Brock Purdy's bad, but I'm not saying Brock Purdy's good. But I obviously know how I feel about the 49ers. But I think you're there. I think you're there if you go get a young quarterback and have him either mentor or, I mean, hell, start day 1. I think Bryce Young is day 1 material. Stroud may be day 1 material, how he progresses in camp. But
all right, Barrett, you ready for this one?
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me.
Ooh.
No, there it is. There it is. There it is. Now, I didn't realize Carr had already visited New Orleans, but Jimmy G is definitely out. Listen, Seth, I mean, what do you think about this? Jimmy G, perfect in this system. All he needs to do is not throw picks.
We're going to change it from a pipe dream to a wet dream for Vance.
I got 2 other guys ahead of him.
Yeah, this is it. I'm going to say pipe dream. This is a stooge move if you're the Saints to move on to Jimmy Garoppolo whenever you basically have a Jimmy Garoppolo and they're throwing the ball, but he's redheaded right now. You have Jameis Winston, who's got a better arm, younger, and better team leader, in my opinion. And you also got Carr, who you're vying for, who is 5 times the quarterback that Jimmy Garoppolo is. So I would, if I'm the Saints, I would not take this. I would not even think about getting Jimmy Garoppolo.
Whoa. No, Jimmy. Oh, yeah. Bears do have the first, and Bears will probably definitely trade out. They'd have to give up like at least 2. I mean, Niners gave up 3 first-round picks for the 3rd pick to Miami. So
Yeah,
for the number 1 pick, you're going to get a shit ton of stuff.
Chicago's not trading out. They're actually going to heavily consider drafting a quarterback.
Get out of here!
I'm not the one reporting that. I'm not.
Nah, that's a hoax, Vance. You got troll.
It's not a hoax. It's not a hoax. They are 100% thinking about it.
All right, what about your Jimmy G here?
I think it could be a reality. Do I want it to be a reality?
Yes.
I'd honestly be okay with it. I'm not saying it's the greatest move New Orleans can make because Jimmy G, he's not a bad quarterback. He's not a great quarterback either. If you insert Jimmy G to this roster, New Orleans makes the playoffs.
Wow. Bold statement.
They do. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo's been to 2 NFC championships and a Super Bowl as a starting quarterback. New Orleans, if you insert him to New Orleans roster, I'm not saying they make the NFC championship, but they make the playoffs. They'll host a playoff game because they'll win that division because there's nobody else in that division. What, you think Desmond Ritter's not winning that division? Kyle Trask is not winning that division, and Sam Darnold's not winning that division, let alone a rookie quarterback if they draft one. It's just not going to happen. So if you add Jimmy G to this roster now, he's a time manager, clock manager. He's not going to go out there and wheel and deal and sling all over the field. Jimmy Garoppolo will lead the Saints to a playoff run, not necessarily a deep playoff run, but a playoff run.
Well, you don't have to worry about Desmond Ridder on the Falcons, huh?
Damn.
Why not?
I want to see Jimmy G in New Orleans, dude.
I'm sure it's in here. I'll get to it, Vance. Next quarterback, please. I don't get this guy off the screen.
Oh, man.
Oh, here's a juicy one.
Whoa, damn. The Jet fans are just clamoring for A-Rod, man. Them
Listen,
and the Raiders.
I'll start
The
this off.
fans
This is a fucking pipe dream.
Oh,
Listen,
how come?
Aaron Rodgers is not going to go play for a head coach that's a defensive-minded head coach. I know Nathaniel Hackett's there. I don't care. Robert Saleh will probably do whatever it takes to make sure he gets Aaron Rodgers. The owner has already came out and said that he will try everything he can to get Aaron Rodgers. Do I think the Green Bay Packers are really going to go with Jordan Love? Fuck no, I don't. I think Jordan Love is a bust. He's awful. He's not going to be good. He'll be a solid backup for years to come. Aaron Rodgers is going to finish his career with the Green Bay Packers. There's no chance he goes to the Jets.
I personally think this is reality.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you're the Packers, this is where the point where even Packer fans, I've talked to diehard Packers fans that I know, and they're like, oh yeah, they're like, I used to love Aaron Rodgers, and now he's just becoming a nuisance. Okay, he's becoming a guy that's holding the franchise hostage. He's becoming a guy that's just a fucking stooge all the time when he walks around. I mean, he gets on the Pat McAfee show, just rambles on about goofball shit. Okay, if you're the Packers, your team is in the decline. Let's face it. Let's look at it. Let's look at it right in the eyes and say,
stinks.
My team, the team is going downhill from what it was a couple years ago. The defense is worse. Your offense was worse. You lost your best receiver. You don't have. Actually, Christian Watson is a 1. I was about to say there's no 1, but I think Christian Watson is a 1. I think you proved that with Aaron Rodgers. But it's like you're back to only having one great receiver. Allen Lazard did not live up to hype, in my opinion. So
Agreed.
if you're the Jets, you're the Packers, and you want him that bad, if you're the Packers, you answer the phone, you say, you're going to give me 2 first-round picks and maybe a young player, I'm taking it.
Ooh.
He's gone. He's out of my facility. That's so much money off my books, and that's so much drama off my team right there. Boom. Get him out of here. Now, you may have to go get a quarterback, but I think this is reality. I think it's more of a reality to the Raiders than it is the Jets, but this is 110% a reality.
The only reason I think it's reality too, but the only reason why it won't happen and why it's probably a pipe dream, because Aaron Rodgers may just fucking retire anyway. So no one's going to get him. So I don't think Aaron would retire the same year as Tom Brady, though. Aaron's going to want his own year for the Hall of Fame. So I think Aaron's going to play one more year based off that. I don't care what anyone says. That's what I think. But who knows? He's going to go do 4 days in the complete darkness and jerk off a million times or do whatever they do. And then he'll figure it out from there. I just don't think he's going to retire the same year as Brady. I think he'll play one more year, and it could be with the Jets. I mean, if you're the Packers, like if the Jets are just offering all this shit, like how can you just say no? Just rid your hands of A-Raj. Thanks for the Super Bowl. Thanks for the fun times. Have fun in the Big Apple, big guy. I don't know. You know what I mean?
They have to. You have to at this point.
You got to get some capital for a 39-year-old.
Exactly, for the 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers, you're just gonna sit and be like, "No, you may only have a couple years left in the tank, but I'm not gonna take 2 first-rounders because I'm loyal to you."
I want the Jets to do that. I want them to give up a king's ransom for 39-and-a-half-year-old Aaron Rodgers. That's just what the Jets do. But hey,
ask yourself: is Rodgers gonna lead next year's Packers to the Super Bowl? No.
Who has a better team?
Is he going to lead next year's Packers to a division title? No.
Absolutely. Yes. That division is insane. Yes. There's no way.
Aaron Rodgers.
He didn't win it this year. There's no way he's winning it next year. Not with the Lions getting even better. Not with the Vikings pretty much staying the same. And then Justin Fields
will lead the go
team to victories over Aaron Rodgers next year.
Justin Fields doesn't have a chance. Listen, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is necessarily a problem with Green Bay. I don't think he's the root cause of all their drama because you got to remember, Green Bay was holding him hostage the year before.
Okay,
they're like,
Vince,
"Hey, sign with us, or fucking leave." And he was like, "I'm 2-time MVP, back-to-back MVP. I would love to sign with you." And they're the ones that offered him the massive contract. So he did what any normal human being would do. He signed it. He didn't want to deal with their bullshit anymore. So he had a clause in there saying that he could retire, or there was a way he could get out of the contract and potentially go to a free agent.
Who has the better team right now on paper?
Green Bay.
No way.
Jets.
I
can't. Garrett Wilson, good.
Brees
second best receiver in his class. Brees Hall,
good O-line.
Good improved offensive line.
Better O-line than Green Bay. Way better defense than Green Bay.
Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, defensive rookie of the year.
Elijah Moore's out. He's out.
Okay.
Maybe.
You still at least got
he
two
requested a
receivers.
trade in the middle of the season. He's gonna still want that trade out because it's not like Mike White or Zach Wilson was out there slinging the rock to him. Elijah Moore had an awful season. It wasn't good.
It was their OC.
He's not gonna want to play there.
The only thing Aaron would miss is Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon together.
I mean, but Brees Hall. I mean, you saw what he did with the.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, if you go Week 17 Jets this year against Week 17 Packers are walking out of that 9 out of 10 times with victory.
Well, the Packers were a lot healthier, though. Yes.
Who were the Jets missing?
Jets were missing Elijah Vera Tucker, Mekhi Beck. They were missing like all their good O linemen and Brees Hall.
Aaron Rodgers start fucking Joe Flacco.
Aaron Rodgers
and they were starting
didn't have a number one wide receiver.
You switch Aaron Rodgers to the Jets beat Miami that last week. They don't lose 9-6 or whatever it was. Let's just be real.
Yeah, Joe fucking Flacco, Vance. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
I ain't saying if you put Aaron Rodgers on the Jets, they're not going to be good. They'll be good. But it's like, if you're Aaron Rodgers, you really look back at the way your career went, the way Brett Favre's went, and you're like, do I really pull a fucking Brett Favre here and go to the Jets?
And then the Vikings.
Yeah. That's why I think it's a pipe dream. I don't think Aaron Rodgers in the midst, like, oh yeah, that was what, 10 years ago we saw Brett Favre go to the Jets.
That was amazing.
But that was the not so great Jets.
Because of Brett Favre going to the Jets, you know what pick they had in the draft? It was fucking high, I'll tell you that. It was a pretty high pick. You know who they took with it? It was like Geno Smith, I'm pretty sure. So,
Geno Smith. Yeah.
so all I'm saying is I don't see Aaron Rodgers unless the Packers just trade him outright. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers has a no trade clause or not. I just don't see him going to the Jets. He could. I'm not saying it won't happen. To me, it's a pipe dream. I think he stays with Green Bay one more year and then he's done. All right, Barrett. Last guy here.
Hold on.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! Oh God!
Of course, the Miami Dolphins make a run at a player here. Let's hear it, Barrett. Yeah, I need you to break. This is a question for you, Barrett, not for us. Is this a pipe dream or a reality?
As Seth would say, maybe a wet dream. No, listen. I think it's a pipe dream still. Okay, listen. And Lamar, very much talented. Most could say a lot more talented than Tua. Fair. But listen, Miami fans and the team need availability. And Lamar has missed more games than Tua anyway. So all these people clamoring for Lamar, I don't get it. And then you're going to have to pay him, So I think it's a pipe dream. I just kind of added this one as just a little funny, but it could be a reality maybe down the road. But like we talked about Tua earlier, this is pretty much his last year to see if he can stay healthy before they either kind of, say, hey, you're probably not the guy, or, he gets his contract like Jalen Hurts is about to get. And as far as the Lamar and the Ravens go, last report I heard, they're like $100 million off their negotiations. So he's probably going to get tagged, right? So
yeah. But so
this would be the craziest out of the blue trade ever. If something like this happened.
Yeah,
but
see, the graphic you should have used is Lamar to the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, yeah.
That's starting to hoover up. And if you're the Falcons, I mean, you swung big for Deshaun Watson last year. You missed. You missed.
Falcons
you got rid of Matt Ryan, your franchise
capital.
quarterback. I mean, you did draft Desmond Ridder in the third, but what's a third round pick these days? Blah, blah. Could have been a great player, but there's one of your trading pieces to get Lamar. I think the Falcons would pay Lamar exactly what he wanted just to have a franchise guy in the door to fill the seats. They have Kyle Pitts. They have what's his name? Drake London. Drake London. That's what I was going with. But Tyler Aguilar's there too. So you have pieces around Lamar right there already, ready to go. You're just missing that quarterback. And Lamar could be a guy that you could get for, I'm not going to say cheap, but I'm not going to say he's going to take you like 4 first rounders to get just because he has to be paid. He has to be paid eventually.
Right. Very true. Yeah, Miami probably can't afford Lamar anyway.
This is where I'm going to go with Barrett. I think it's a reality for the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's like a for sure reality. It's one of those like it's a very real possibility. Stephen Ross is an aggressive owner.
He is.
And
that's
why you guys may not have
right.
a first rounder this year, but you have Tua Tagovailoa that if he really doesn't believe in him, because remember the owner calls the shots. No one gives a shit about the GM or the head coach. The owner calls the shots. If he really feels like, hey, Tua's not the guy, who do I have? I have just Gesicki. I have a handful of running backs. I got talent on the O line. I got talent on the D line. I got linebackers. I got corners, and a couple of safeties that are all up for trade, and including my next 3 years worth of picks to go get the guy who can lead the Miami Dolphins to a Super Bowl immediately upon arriving.
If he stays healthy, though.
If he stays, and I don't.
You're right.
Listen, I don't think he's healthy because where he's at. I don't think Lamar wants to play in Baltimore. That's why I think if they franchise tag him, Lamar Jackson's going to sit. Remember, I have a tweet that's going to get notified to me at the start of free agency telling me, hey, remember, Lamar Jackson's going to get traded to the Patriots for 2 firsts and Johnny Smith and Matthew Judon. Remember that. It's going to happen. But all I'm saying, Stephen Ross is aggressive. This actually could be a reality for the Miami
right.
Dolphins.
Stephen Ross
I'm not blowing
is a-
smoke.
No,
when
I
you
know.
shared this, I laughed at it at first, but when I was making the graphic, I really,
Stephen
'cause
Ross
I was like, oh,
is
here
a
goes
loose-
Barrett.
Stephen Ross is a loose fucking cannon. I'm telling you.
He's
If
an,
he
listen,
sees
he's an
any
old
end-
owner. Stephen Ross is not young. He's an older owner who wants to
Right.
win one before he fucking dies.
Yeah.
This is his opportunity to go get one. Same with Jerry Jones. I think Jerry Jones, we're going to see Jerry Jones get fucking aggressive real soon with his picks and his money. We're going to see him get real aggressive. Same with
must not
Stephen
know-
Ross.
You must not fucking know Jerry Jones.
Hey,
Jerry Jones's health allegedly is declining. I don't know how true those statements are. His health is allegedly already declining. I guarantee we see Jerry Jones get aggressive, not this year, but most likely next year.
Jerry Jones. Let's not even get into that. Let's
Look,
get into
you're
that
just
later.
you're just a fan, and yeah, I hate Jerry Jones because he's not been aggressive, but he's also not been close. He's getting older. He's getting older. This is what
This
older
guy's been
owners
old for-
do.
20 years.
When the Saints
right.
when the Saints owner got older, he got aggressive. He also owned the New Orleans Pelicans. He got aggressive. All I'm saying is it's gonna happen. Oh, when owners get older, they get more aggressive. And we can see Jerry Jones, Stephen Ross including, get super aggressive. There's also a guy coaching the Washington Commanders. Let me get this off screen. The owner of the Washington Commanders, he's about to he's probably going to be forced to sell the team. What does he do before that sell the team? Fucking riddle the franchise of picks. Go get a star player. You know why? Boost money. If he can go acquire a star player, all it's going to do is just raise his franchise worth, and then he'll make even more money.